When Traxxas announced this late model, I started looking around the house to see if I could find that damn camera or microphone that they've been listening to me with. I didn't find anything, so apparently it's true that great minds think alike. Being ready to run, Traxxas gives you a TQ radio, which is going to be just fine for driving this car. I'm going to be running this a bunch on my backyard dirt oval, so I'm going to put this in my regular radio, and we'll show that in the next video where I set it up for the oval. For now, we can just kind of gawk at this thing, because they did a good job. I'm already picturing this thing with dust all over it and dirt flying everywhere. It's going to be great. I wouldn't have minded if they'd have used the older doorstop wedge-type late model body, but I'll get over my disappointment because this looks nice. And as is normal for Traxxas, the paint scheme and the stickers and everything look great. I always put my age for a number on the doors, and it looks like they're going to limit me to 3 digits, so when I get to be 100, we're done with this. And they put an interior in it that has all the right tubing in it and even got a driver. I've seen people are already whining about not enough detail on the driver, but if they just shut up and drive the car around, it's going too fast to see that anyway. I haven't put a battery in yet and haven't tweaked the suspension, so I expect the body will get a little bit lower. But this is for a real dirt track, so we don't want it too low. I've been around race cars for 60 years and would never admit to running behind another race car. But if I would have, this looks pretty realistic. It's missing a fuel cell and stuff, but I'll get over that. I have a hard time believing that a little spoiler is going to impact how an RC car actually drives, but it's going to look real stupid without it, so we'll leave it on. Traxxas hasn't gone crazy or anything, so they put their clipless body system on this car. And that means we have the corresponding parts, along with the interior, on the inside of the body. And because there's so much room before you get to the front of the car, they added this clip up front. That feeds into the front bumper and this holds the body down nice. Seems like somebody at Traxxas is staying up nights thinking on this stuff. And they added this little brace on the rear quarter panels to keep them from tucking in. One of the things I really like about Traxxas chassis is that they focus on making them rigid and light. The chassis is something for us to hook the motor and suspension to. If the chassis is nice and rigid, it lets the suspension do its work and lets us tune the suspension and actually get some results from it. And to help with that tuning, Traxxas gives us GTR shocks with the threaded body adjusters and 70% more oil than the Ultra shocks. As another tuning feature, we get options on where we want to mount the bottom of the shocks here on the rear suspension arm and the front arm. Adjustability is always a good thing to have. And there's a whole bunch of heavy duty in this car, from the suspension arms to the drive axles, that I have yet been able to break. The ability to adjust camera on all 4 wheels is helpful when you're tuning an oval track car. I'm not a fan of these super quick steering servos and think the 2075 Traxxas servo that they put in this car works just fine. This is a Metal Gear servo and it's got a servo saver built into the linkage. Between the very capable Traxxas ESC and a 3300 kV brushless motor, you got plenty of power for this car. I've had really good luck with the Magnum 272R transmission and was happy to see it in this car. The Traxxas late model comes with an aluminum motor plate and it has a wide range of gearing that's available. Far too many people don't even play with the gearing on an oval track car when it's really one of the biggest changes you can make. And when you get the gearing right, the car's easier to drive on an oval. And while this seems like a total no-brainer to me, Traxxas did use the licensed Hoosier tires again. I'm told they have changed the compound and the inner foam in the tires a little bit, and we'll see how that works on the track. I've got the Hoosier design tires on most of my RC dirt cars and can't find a track surface they don't like yet. Hoosier's been making this tread pattern on real race cars for decades, and there's no sense screwing around with it now. Though I'm really tempted to, I'm not going to rush putting this car on the track. Next up's going to be a video on how I change this thing to get it ready for the track. It's not a lot of fancy stuff, it's just some things that I do to get a baseline on my car. So subscribe to the channel, click that notify bell, or just come back real often. We'll get that video up as soon as we can.